Cool.
Double check.
This might be delayed. I can't see anything yet. But...
It's got like a at the very beginning like a good little delay. Excellent connection. Looks good, and there we go. We are live. Hey everybody, how you doing today? My name is Relyea, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today, we are going to be taking a very special look into Crowsworn. I am so excited for this game. I personally backed this game at a very high tier in order to be able to create and design a Corvian ability. So that is like a, I don't know, like a super ability in this game. You'll see the protagonist, the main character here, shoot like some crazy red stuff out of his hands. That's the Corvian ability. We are going to be able to design one of those abilities, and today we are going to work together and figure out like what do we want to see in this game. I am so excited. We have one of the lead developers, Alex, with us here today. And how you doing, my friend? How are you doing, Alex?
Doing well. I think we already spoke about this prior to the stream, but you know, like let's pretend like we didn't. So
I know, right?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Doing well, dude. I have to ask you. I try not to talk about too much before the stream because it's like I want to share it like on the stream, but it was just so mind-blowing, just like the little things that we talked about. We tried not to dive too deep. So far, just general. So first off, let's start with this because we didn't actually talk about this too much. Just generally speaking, so far, how's development going? Like, is it going like well, better than you expected, a little slower than expected? Like, just a general feel.
I'd say and this is just personal how I feel about it on the team. I would say development is slower than I had, I guess, envisioned.
Yeah.
But the quality of the production is higher than I had envisioned.
Really?
Yeah. So, because I think like we started doing, I mean, we haven't even shown some of the stuff, but we started doing some pretty crazy stuff. I'd say, anyways, and I think it's like taking a bit of extra time, but it's pretty. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. Just like it's pretty crazy, I guess. At least to me, it's very like advanced for. Apparently, Matthew Griffin says I'm quiet on the stream. Just a heads up.
Oh, okay.
Relyea.
Thank you. Let me turn
Thanks,
you
Matt.
up. Thank you.
Always got our backs.
Let's see. Where'd you go? Here. And max out the audio. Let's bring down the music. And what else can I do? I can bring up the desktop audio a little bit for you. All right, go ahead and give me a little hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Relyea?
I'll bring it up a little more. Let's see how that goes.
Shove this mic in my mouth if you really want, but
whoa, hey there, family friendly. No, I think that's better. Chat.
Oh, man.
How we doing? Is that better? Can you hear Alex a little bit better?
We good? Ish. We goodish.
Goodish. Good. He sounds right now. Yeah. So okay,
cool.
Perfect. Real quick, I just want to say, chat, I'm so excited that you all are here. This is like the first live stream I've done in like over a month. It's been a little while. Thank you for being with me as we work out the kinks here. I'm so hyped. Yes, I am excited for TwitchCon. Yeah, I'm excited that everyone's here. I remember you, and yeah, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna be getting into Corvian ability stuff in just a second, but right now I want to ask just kind of how development's going and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's press on. So you were saying overall development's a little bit slower than you expected, but quality is better, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and to elaborate on that, I think it's slower than the slower end, I guess, that I expected. Because I think we talked about this before, but after we raised as much as we did on the Kickstarter, like I appreciated things were gonna more than likely take longer than we estimated, because like nobody really could have predicted it to do that well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got a you know, like when the budget is as big as it is, the game's gotta sort of live up to that, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's not it's not as easy as just like throwing money at people and all of a sudden the game gets built faster, because it
Exactly.
doesn't really work that way. You still need to find the right people, keep a small enough like cohesive team that you can communicate with everybody and still keep it kind of tight. So there's really only so much that so many people can do, I would say. And as we kind of talked about before, like a lot of us work like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, so it's like we're at the, I would say, like human capacity of it.
I mean, that makes sense. Like you still need the right people. If you throw a bunch of money at a bunch of random people who kind of know what they're doing, like you're not gonna get good quality for sure. So or you're just gonna spend a bunch of time like reworking other people's work.
Exactly. Yep. And that's even worse, because then you're wasting money and more time than you would have originally.
Yeah.
And you feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you're just in a management position, which that's not what you originally had signed up for or were planning for, right? So, and speaking of, what is your like development day looking like? Are you working like 8-hour days? Are you working longer? Like what's that looking like right now?
Oh yeah, I think I would say on average we're hitting like 12-hour days, 7 days a week.
Yo.
Yeah. But
so you're like
might
on
be a bit
crunch
of a lie,
time already.
Crunch time is when you stop sleeping. That's crunch time.
Oh really?
This is professional work is what I like to call it.
It sounds like passion, like when you're doing something you love, right?
Yeah.
When you can work 8 hours doing something and then come back and do something else that you absolutely love, right? Passion.
Well, I mean, because it's like, I don't know, people are like, don't overwork, but it's not like, you know, there's moments where you're kind of fed up with a task or something, but like it's really I wouldn't call it like work. This is like what I'd be doing if I wasn't getting paid, right? So it's like, like what are you gonna, you know? So
awesome. I'm glad to hear that it's what you love and you get to do it. Invisbird says bad work-life balance is what I would call that, but yeah, so I mean it's a bad balance if it doesn't work for you, but if it works for you, then it's not a bad balance, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I mean we take the arbitrary like breaks in between, right? It's not like we don't go on mini vacations or whatever. Like a bunch of us have families, like kids and stuff, so it's not that. It's just I'd say, you know, we're like working until 3 a.m. is really the difference, I guess, and then still trying to get up at, you know, 9 or whatever. So that's kind of where you make up for the hours.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, I'm so excited. I love seeing all the updates. If you guys aren't following Mongoose Rodeo on Twitter, there's constantly little updates of like enemies or like a super zoomed in like hint of something that's going on. I love that. The I'd almost call them micro updates. I don't know. Would you? I love that you take the time to do that, even though it takes away from development time. Like it kind of keeps like the excitement going, and I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people are missing.
Honestly, I don't even think it takes away from, like, literally what I do most of the time is I'm sitting there working on something and I'm just like, you know, we haven't said anything in a bit. I'm gonna open up a snipping tool and just like take an arbitrary snip of something I'm working on and just post it. And I kind of almost like call them, I don't know, I just came up with this now, I guess, but so I'm not gonna pretend like I thought this through, but it's almost like a heartbeat, just to like let people know you're not dead, because I feel we got all these backers that are kind of, you know, and I've seen projects before just go completely under because the developers stop communicating with their backers or their fans or whatever, and then it's just like, yeah, you ain't coming back from that.
Yeah. And it's interesting, there's actually been a fair number of indie Kickstarter games that they're about to launch their Kickstarter, and I look at their Twitter page and they're like, they got 5 or 35 followers and they haven't put out any information at all. I'm like, yo, yeah. you should have been doing this from like the jump. Like, what are you doing? Like, marketing is like a complete and utter afterthought. Like, you should have been doing this from the beginning. of like
Yeah.
letting us know who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it. Like, show us the failures and how bad it looked before and how good it looks now, or just even like the slow development of it. Like, that's it is interesting.
Well, and I mean, I'm not the marketing expert. That's Matthew Griffin, but like I've always told guys before, Twitter and stuff like that, people kind of approach it and it's a question of like, how do I like pop off or whatever it is, and I've always been of the mindset, I'm like, you're treating this tool the wrong way. It's not supposed to be like, how do I use tools to pop off? They're more like litmus tests. Like, you kind of throw stuff into the void, and if it doesn't stick, you go back. So
Yeah,
if you get a positive enough response, that's your cue to like do a Kickstarter. But if you're just like, you know, tossing coins in the well or whatever it is, it's like you can only get so much out of that, right?
yeah. That and Kickstarter isn't like where you start and like hopefully somebody finds it. Like, Kickstarter has no like reach. It's almost like Twitch. Like, you're like throwing something out there, but it has no discoverability. Like, I don't think there's a whole lot of people who go to Kickstarter and like, well, let me see what's going on right now. Like,
Yeah.
You have to drive traffic to a Kickstarter, not the other way around, right?
Right. Yeah, it used to be different, I think, back in the day, like way back in the day, like 8 years ago or whatever. But you know, nowadays it's kind of yeah, it's kind of like that. You just have to get people kind of hyped before it, I think, because also Kickstarter's like super dicey. There's so many games, the majority of them, which just don't deliver. And I don't mean in terms of quality, I just mean they literally don't.
Yeah, they just go
done.
under. They don't finish their project, right?
Yeah, and then yeah, so yeah, that's kind of how it be, I guess.
Is what it is, as they say. So, for today, what we're talking about is setting up a Corvian ability for Crowsworn. And so, can we start by asking, I'm not under an NDA, so if there's anything that's like NDA related or whatever, or things that we need to talk about off stream, you can let me know. As of right now,
didn't you sign one?
Did I sign one?
I think so, man.
Okay.
Anybody who was designing stuff signed an NDA.
Did I already sign one? Usually
Sure
I read all my contract. Like, anything that I sign, I make sure to read the heck out of it. I better double check. Honestly, game's looking clean, the art's amazing, and movement is smooth. I can't wait for Crowsworn 2. Oh my gosh, get out of here, JC. Okay, I'm under an NDA. I'll yep.
Well, you know, let's just have a gentleman's agreement that you are, even if you didn't sign
Yeah,
it.
no, exactly. Are you able to share what Corvian abilities are already in the game, so in that way it can help us, everyone who's here watching us live, decide on what we potentially want to add? Is there anything that you can tell us in that way?
I think the only ones that we've disclosed and that we're going to be disclosing, just, you know, again, I this is out of my jurisdiction a bit, because I'd have to, like, you know, talk to Matt about like what's a good idea and what isn't. So if it hasn't been shown, I don't really want to.
The only ones I know for sure have been shown is like the Hadouken like side thing, and I don't know that we've seen too much other than that off the top of my head. Well, there was
that, and I think there was like, it was also in the demo for, I don't know if we removed it later or not, but there was like the drill, which happens if you like hold it. That one's going to be a little bit refurbished by the end of the game, like in terms of what it looks like, the cosmetics.
Raj.
There's that one, and then I think early on which we don't even know if that one's staying in, but I suspect it will.
And then also
it's like there's a hand that you throw on the ground and like pulls.
Oh yeah, okay, so that's an ability. And then also if you can see it on screen now, it's the crow that goes to the side.
The big one, yeah, those aren't the ones we're talking about. Those are like something we added after, because those ones is like to get animation for stuff like that is like a couple $1,000. So
fair enough.
So we're not doing that one.
So we're not doing something like that, and also we're not doing like the dive thing that was shown immediately afterwards, because we're not doing ability stuff.
Yeah, well, that is like a Corvian ability, but that one's also like, as you might imagine, like a gatekeeping one too. So
yeah, So I'm just trying to make sure that everybody who's listening is in on the same page. We're not doing things that like will lock out content or lock out different areas. So we can't make something that's gonna like increased dash, increased jump, will make you stall out and give yourself a chance to like do a different ability or something like that.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. Cool. So chat, listen up. I'm gonna share what my personal ability is, and like what I want to see, and then we'll kind of I'll break out some polls and decide and start looking at, do we want offense, do we want defense, do we want utility, like,
Right.
and then kind of we'll do a bunch of polls. I'm gonna need a lot of help from chat, kind of breaking out ideas of what you would like to see. Does that sound good, chat? Give me a I don't know. Give me a GG in chat if that sounds good, while I share what I want to see. So personally, I hate enemies that are flying through the air that are always trying to stay just slightly out of range. Think in Hollow Knight dealing with the primal aspids, but literally any enemy that's in the air, especially if you don't have a good way to deal with enemies in the air, right? As of right now, this is something we had briefly touched on, we don't know if our guns are going to be able to shoot up or at a 45 degree, or if we'll be able to aim them, or if they'll only shoot left and right. Is it correct, Alex?
Yeah, there's sort of there's some stuff there that's kind of like experimental, but I also would just say, even if something happens at an angle, if you're looking at the guns, you've kind of seen how like the thing is, they work well enough if it's like a horizontal line, because that just kind of works. But if it's at an angle, it's a little bit awkward, because they're not like, it's not a huge area of effect on them, right? So it's kind of, I think it would be a little bit more of an annoyance than anything to
have to aim if it's like up at like a 5 degree angle or something.
Yeah, and it's just like, we don't want to, there's a certain degree to which you want to have your controls complicated versus not, and it's just something like that, it just doesn't really like flow with the like movement. It's not really that kind of game. So anyways, all I'm trying to get at is I wouldn't rely on the guns for that. Who's messaging me now? Is that Matthew Griffin again?
Did he send you a DM?
He did the little crow emoji DM with the little hat thing. I don't know where that was placed or wasn't.
And if he I'm assuming Matt is listening. If Leth wants to join in, he's more than welcome to join in at any time, because I always love hanging out and talking with Leth as well. It's not like he's excluded. In fact, any of my content creator friends, I'll call if CC Mackey or somebody else is out there, and you want to chime in. I would love to get some other perspectives on things that you would like to see. That I think that would be fun. Join into, I don't know, if you don't have access to the collab role, join in on general chat, and then when appropriate, I can bring people in. But for now, so what I'm saying is I would like to have something that would shoot into the air. I want something that just brainstorming. We'll do a poll here in a second. I want something that will either shoot crows into the air, whether it's at like a 45 degree angle and like kind of like shoots out of your hands and goes up. We already have guns, pistols, maybe doing like a Corvian like shotgun blast to the air. So this is something I almost want to talk about with you on a separate note. Is like, do you feel like you have to worry about not copying Hollow Knight to a certain extent? Like, if you do a shotgun blast to the air, is that too much like an Abyss Shriek, and then you have to worry about the fallout, or like, oh, they copied Hollow Knight or whatever? Like,
really, nobody has accused us of copying Hollow Knight thus far, so I don't want to ruin that. So let's stay away from these things.
Boom. Fact. True. So yeah, because I mean, there's some people who are like, oh, well, what about a a tracking orb, kind of like the whatever boss in Hollow Knight, or what about this like whatever boss in Hollow Knight? It's just like, well, I mean, do you really want something that's going to be so black and white where it can be like Hollow Knight? Like, I don't know. Do you? But so actually, I would like to digress if that's okay. Do you feel like you have to design things in a way where like, oh shoot, that's a good idea, but it's too much like another game, whether it's Hollow Knight or something else? Doesn't even necessarily have to be Hollow Knight.
No, I'll be honest, I've never really had that issue. I'm just kind of like, if something in a game is a good idea, like we'll take it. That's really ultimately like what it comes down to, I guess. I mean, there's plenty of ideas that are sort of inspired, I guess, by, you know, games like Devil May Cry and other things. But there's even like a recently developed thing, like we were playing Vampire Survivors, and I saw one thing in it. I'm not gonna go into what it was, but I was like, oh man, that is like sweet. We're gonna put that in the game.
Yeah.
So, no, not really. I mean, I'm a firm believer, anyways, that I don't think like ideas are just kind of, how would you put it, like property or whatever. It's more, there's like so much room for screwing up or doing execution correctly that I really think it always comes down to that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know.
Makes sense. Like
so
it's,
I don't have any concerns really. Like, not the slightest. Doesn't.
You want to do what fits and feels good in your world, in your game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like you've played the demo anyways, so I assume you can kind of. I mean, I never asked you, but I assume you've kind of already got an appreciation for how, in a lot of veins, we've already talked about Hollow Knight, like the gameplay in Crowsworn is, I would say, vastly different on some fronts.
You know, you're right. We didn't talk about that, but it really does feel different. Even with like the amount of controls, it feels more involved. There's so much more going on between. It's not just attack. Doing the guns, having to reload, the healing being quick, I don't know a good way to put it, but other than more involved, I think that's a very concise way to put it. Not in like a bad way. It's just like it's got more of a learning curve to be able to maximize your damage output of. Instead of having your nail in Hollow Knight, it was always just like a one-hit attack. In this, you've got your triple attack, where like your third attack deals more damage, but it also takes more time. So higher risk, higher reward, because now you've got an animation you have to wait for before you can do your dodge ability. Like, do you want to get that third attack off that does more damage, or do you need to hold off so you can get your dodge off? Like, these are like the little things that you didn't have to think of before. Right. So yeah, no, I like that a lot, and I definitely feel punished for messing those little things up. But as the more I play the demo and different things, like it makes more sense. And I'm imagining that when you first play Crowsworn, you don't have all of the abilities or all of the things that we have in the demo, and like you'll build up to that, and you'll just get better because you were guided into it as opposed to just having everything, right?
Yeah. No, we kind of threw people sort of like mid into the fray there, and it was a bit for our sort of study as well that we kind of threw it and just wanted to see like what people did if you kind of just tossed them in, right? And there was different responses. Some people were like, oh, this is way too hard, and I'm like, well, yeah, you know, you probably haven't played the first 5 hours, 6 hours of the game, so yeah, it's a little bit tough when you just get thrown in there. But
yeah, there's a lot going on,
yeah.
Right?
So
yeah, I'm excited. Let's see. So chat, I know there's a lot of questions right now. Like, when is Crowsworn coming out? It's so far out. We won't even touch on release date. Will the special attack stack, with the scythe throw?
What do you mean by that?
So like, let's say you throw your scythe, and as it's coming back, you know how you could like shoot your scythe so it like hits a scythe and deals attack? Like, could you do your special attack and have that like deal more damage?
Like bounce the scythe?
Yes. So it bounces the scythe, but it does more damage than just shooting your gun at the scythe.
Right, because I mean the idea is that you can deflect like the projectile, like this. You basically, it deals as much damage as a scythe throw would deal, but you kind of turn the bullet into like a horizontal pogo or something, right? So
Yeah.
So that's really all you're doing. That it's not like there's an increase in damage. It's just like you're converting the bullet to scythe bounce.
Because a bullet normally does less damage than a scythe, right?
Right.
But if you were to do your special, does it do the special damage plus a scythe throw?
No, because it would. I mean, I don't even think you can do it, but the idea would be you'd still just bounce the scythe back.
Yeah.
In theory, so it's just the scythe would be hitting, right? Like that's the damage.
Raj, there you go. Okay. Raj. Okay. Let's see. Just making sure I'm not missing anything else. But hey, chat, just so you know, we'll probably chat for a little bit, and then we'll come into chat questions in just a little bit. So hold on to questions for just a little bit, okay? Okay, we did digress for a little while, and I thought that was good. As far as abilities that jumping back into abilities I personally want to see, crows that come out, because we already kind of have that a little bit with that animation that we saw earlier. Right. Either shotgun blast up, some sort of tracking ability, even if the tracking ability is a crow that comes out that will go after our enemy. I'm trying to think of what else. Essentially, I want something that's going to be able to help deal with air enemies, especially if the gun isn't the best help and we can't throw our scythe in the air at an angle and all that kind of stuff. I want a Corvian ability that when I play, I'm going to be like, haha, I'm glad Relyea put that in there.
Okay.
I mean, people won't really say that, but I'm going to say that, you know?
Right.
So,
yeah, okay. I mean, that's something to go off of. So
how specific would you like me to be? Like, do you want me to like
well,
I mean more specific is better probably, right?
I mean, I to me it doesn't, like, you know, we've got enough ideas that we can shove in there, but I feel you want to get your money's worth. So I guess the more specific you are, the better it is for you. Like you know. I'm
not a perfectionist. Okay, let's start a poll. Air attack. Let's see. Do we do crows? Chasing enemies. Ooh, a flock of crows? Murder. No, it's not a flock. It's a murder.
It is a murder
of crows. Chasing. So then that way, like, each crow does a smaller amount of damage, but there's more of them. And chat, let me know what else. When you're thinking of my idea, what are you thinking?
Really, I'm just gonna give you a heads up.
Yeah.
Apparently Matt or Left, I guess, messaged you on
you
Discord.
Did? Okay, thank you. I don't have Discord up. There it is.
What are we talking on then?
I need an invite to the call to your server. Let's Left, can you join the if you need an invite to the server, I can get you an invite to the server. Does that mean you left my server?
Probably.
It's okay. I would have left my server too.
Okay. Matt plays hard to get all the time.
What's the best way to add? I wish there was like an easy way to just be like, yo, add.
You can invite him directly into the call. Second time asking, is your character the only one with Corvian abilities? I don't even know. I don't know. Some questions, like lore stuff, if it hasn't been placed in there, we probably, like, I don't think I'll answer it. There's gotta be mysterious about this. Truth be told, we don't know anything. We just tell you guys that we're being mysterious, but we have no plan.
Oh, so actually, that leads me to another great question.
Okay.
because my questions are great. Now, where, like, in development, like, how much of it are you guys, like, working on? Like, have you guys already developed all of the, like, major movement abilities, or is that still being worked out? Let's start with that.
We developed them. We've got ideas for a lot of them. I don't think they've all been put into game completely fleshed out, and some of them are sort of, I guess, you know, like, I don't know, at least for me, game design like inspires itself to a degree. You kind of start with something and you don't really know what it's gonna end up with, so you kind of start with some bare bones, I guess, and then later you just like do one. You know, as you're kind of testing, you might like develop an ability and all of a sudden be like, wait, you know, it'd be cool if we did this other thing with it too.
Yeah. Fair enough. So even the movement stuff is still being worked out and whatever else, which is awesome. Like, I'm not like saying like, oh, how have you not figured this all out yet? Like, no, it's really awesome. Let's see, like an extended scythe and grab. Let's see, crows, grab attack. Let's see, shotgun up, add options. I think I can. I don't know if I can pick 5 options or 4 options. Let's see, extended. Let's see, howling wraiths. You can invite them directly into the call Relyea. Can I? Lab. Oh, there we go. You're right. Invite. There we go. Thank you, Clark.
Dropped.
Let's see. I'll paste as many times until Relyea notices. How about a Corvian uppercut that goes a bit of an arc forward and upwards? Ooh. Yeah, like a high... that wasn't Hadouken. Hadouken was like a sideways thing in Street Fighter 2, right? Hadouken was to the side. What was the uppercut in Street Fighter? What did they say?
Are you asking me?
Anybody.
Wait, so can you hear me first of all?
I can hear you.
Yeah, that's weird. My Discord like kind of disconnected. Now it's on that like little, I don't know what that is. It looks like pants or butt cheeks or something, but it's like spinning their logo. And it's totally, it makes me feel like I'm not here. But okay, great, you can hear me.
I can hear you just fine. Yeah.
All right, then never mind. Ignore what I just said. What was the question?
Street Fighter 2. When you did the shot to the side, it would say Hadouken. But when you did an uppercut, what was that called?
Something like Shoryuken or something?
Shoryuken! That's correct. Nailed it.
I think it was something like that.
Yep, I just looked it up. Shoryuken uppercut. That's a great idea. Like, especially if you do like an uppercut and it like swirls like upwards or something. Like, yes.
Right, but the only thing is like again we'd have to sort of think about how we do it because that's like a double jump. So
yeah,
it'd have to be like confined to like maybe only when you're on the ground or something. And
if you're only on the ground, and so only the Corvian ability goes up. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, or something. Or I mean, we could figure out a way to go with it, or be like, you know, if you figure it so that you can only get it after you get. We've already shown a game that there's like a double jump, so maybe that replaces your. Like you can use it in the air, but you can't do a double jump after.
I like the idea of doing the uppercut and it just like it's so powerful that it like shoots stuff into the air. Like that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I understand. Yeah, it can't be a double jump. Yeah. I love that we haven't done a live stream in so long that like we've got so many people in the chat. It's just like, yo, I haven't seen you in so long. Natalia's here, Sam, Waffles, Clark. Like, it's so good. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all being here. It's so good. Foxy and Epic and like, yo, everybody. I'm happy you're here. Thank you. Gorb, I see you. Waffles. Yes, JC, I saw you. Okay. All right. What else we got? What else we can do? I got one more option. Let's see. What about an oozing black liquid that seeps out from his cape and stuns or traps the enemy, and crows come out of the ooze and damage the enemy? See, that was another one that I thought was really interesting, was like doing some sort of like, I don't know, it would have to be a ground attack, but like you like I don't know, call up crows from the ground and just like a bunch of beaks come out of the ground. And like, it's almost like spikes on the ground, but it's just a bunch of like crow beaks. But I like the idea, but personally, like I said, I'm looking for air attacks. We are your baby birds crying out for your attention. I totally understand, Sam. I know, it's been so long. It's been so long. I miss you. What about some sort of AoE? But another backer might do that. I don't know. True. I haven't talked to any of the other backers. I don't know what they're trying to do. And honestly, I don't care. We're doing our thing. Yeah, well, what if two backers pick like the exact same thing, right? Two backers like, yo, we both want uppercuts.
Yeah, well, we tell them and try and make it work around.
No,
it, right?
we both want uppercuts.
Well then.
I found Leth is in. Let me bring him in.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Hey, Leth, how you doing?
Hey, hello. Do you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're super loud. Let me bring you down.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I can...
No, you're good. It's me.
it back.
You stay
Okay,
there.
okay.
Sorry, chat. Sorry. Okay. Say. Give me a little. Hey, how you doing?
Good thing I didn't come in here roaring like the Hulk or something, you know?
Yeah. Seriously. Wow. Okay.
I haven't heard that laugh in a while.
Oh, you're gonna be hearing it in
boy.
person soon enough.
Right. That's true. You guys figured that out yet?
Yeah. I think I need to set up the flight first and then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you guys meeting?
I'm gonna go visit the Mongoose Rodeo up in Canada.
Ooh, there you go.
So get to hang out in person for the first time. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Be fun.
That'll be fun.
I'm gonna send you a board game before I get there though, so we.
Really?
Show you some. Yeah, I want to show you something. Yeah.
Did you make it?
No. It's just probably my favorite
Okay. All right.
board game we play together.
All right. Well, we could do that for sure.
I don't know if you play board. Am I totally derailing? Were you guys in the in the throes of creation?
No,
Well, we're talking about birds
chilling.
pecking at your feet or something.
Yeah.
So,
Spiky bird feet.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll get some. I'll just get some board game action going, among other things.
Okay.
Mousetrap. Yeah, totally. Some Connect 4.
Operation.
Yeah. Operation.
I remember
Well,
those
because
words as a kid.
it could be like.
Anyways, dude, we're totally ruining Relyea stream here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not
sorry.
at all. I love
We're
it.
stream back and we're.
I'm having a blast. Oh, Leth, it's so good to hear your voice. I feel like it's been so long.
thank you.
I've missed you.
Oh, I know. I've been a little, shadowy lately.
I've been literally like I haven't even streamed in like 2 months. So
Yeah,
that's-
I know.
that
So,
too.
hey, thanks for the invite.
No,
Coming
yeah,
back.
of
Coming
course,
back with
of
a
course.
vengeance.
Are either of you planning on going to TwitchCon in San Diego early October? No.
No, not I.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Fair enough.
Not me either.
Fair enough.
No.
But if it's in San Diego, you said?
Yeah.
It's a great venue.
Yeah.
It's right by the gas lamp corridor. I've gone there. I've gone to that TwitchCon twice. And it's right by the beach and you can go.
Yeah, I live up
check
the
out
street, so.
Oh, you
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Oh, you're like, yeah, it's okay. I've seen it.
It's all right. I mean, the internet connection inside that building is terrible.
Oh, yeah. All
It's
those
so
buildings
bad.
are-
I think they do that
like
on
them.
purpose, and that way you'll pay for the internet connection of like the building's Wi-Fi or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like if you're a booth holder, like they want you to pay for their internet.
Yeah, they get you with all those.
Extras. Add-ons. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah. So I had wanted to go to TwitchCon like 2 years ago, and I wasn't like a big enough streamer / YouTuber, and like I just like didn't have enough money / like it was like just a bad time of year to go. So I'm like, oh, I'll just go next year. It's fine. And then all the COVID and whatever else happened, and like just didn't get to go for 2 years. So I'm like, okay, I'll go this year. Now Twitch is like struggling hard compared to YouTube, and like I don't know, it's gonna be weird I feel like a lot of people are like, yo, Twitch, what are you doing? Compared to like everything that YouTube's been putting out lately as far as like helping content creators. So
Oh man,
I don't know.
That's a whole other stream right there.
It's a whole other can of worms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, yeah, Leth, you're joining in right as we're talking about putting out our first what?
Oh, you want to clarify?
Did I say
Sorry, go. Family friendly stream, you said, right?
What did I say?
No, go ahead.
Did I curse?
Go.
Did I say something bad?
No.
Okay.
It's all good.
I was saying, Leth, we're gonna clarify that we are designing our first Corvian ability and coming up with some ideas. I want to do an air attack, and the first 4 ideas are murder of crows chasing the enemy, a shotgun up into the air, Shayukin, Corvian ability that goes up, or a tracking birds. I'm gonna put out the poll now into YouTube and kind of see what people have to say.
Oh yeah.
So that is now live over on the YouTube side of the house.
Do these kids even know what a Shoryuken is?
Of course they don't. I explained it. It's an uppercut.
You did? Okay.
It's an uppercut into the air, and it will have so much force that it will shoot the Corvian ability, the red stuff, up into the air and help attack whatever our enemy is. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We're at 39 votes so far. I expect to see 3,000 votes before we end this.
I'm not trying to influence the vote here at all, but I like the idea of the Shoryuken flying uppercut because I think that could combine well with the other moveset already even present in the game.
Well, we can't do anything that does movement ability. So my idea right now
see what you're saying.
is you're on the ground and you do it's almost like a whiff. Like you don't actually hit anything, but like the ability flies up into the air.
Oh, the ability shoots up. Okay.
Because we're not allowed to affect movement.
I'm sure you already been shot down on that idea, and I just missed that. Huh?
I didn't think about it.
Oh. Now you're behaving better than me. I'd be coming in with all these ideas, and Alex like, Matt, we can't do that.
Oh, the hats?
We can't do that. You're like, oh, the hats. No, that's slander.
Ooh, hats.
Yeah. It was like, we talked about, or I was like, can you lose your hat when you die? And then when you go back, the enemy, you kill the enemy, and it drops your hat. You pick it back up and put it back on. But he was like, man, we can't put hats on every enemy. And I'm like, no, it just pops out of them. You don't have to be wearing it.
Yeah.
But then you have to have a hatless crow guy as well. So that's a much more sprite work.
Yeah. It kind of reminiscent of Mario 64 on the snow level, where you can lose your hat.
Oh, yeah. There you go. It's been done before, then, huh?
Yeah, it's been done. You don't want to do that again. Shoot, Simpsons did it.
I just like the idea of picking up your hat and like putting it back on and being like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Give me my hat back.
How did Mario 64 do it to where I guess because it only has so many sprites of
what? 64 was 3D though.
Yeah, man, it's 3 models.
Does that make it easier or harder?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Easier.
For something like that, it makes it easier. Yeah, absolutely. But,
interesting.
Yeah, because the animations are then sort of bones and moving the model around, and you could just remove parts of the model, but the animations will still work.
Yeah. Like 3D has like higher upfront costs, and then with the modern stuff with like textures and stuff, it's
swap out effects or
like expensive to get all that done. But once you're in there and once like an animation's done, it's definitely scales better.
Raj, that makes sense. All right, we're at 68 votes with 75 viewers. It's pretty high. So we've got a murder of crows chasing enemy, and you know what? I'm very happy with that.
Cool. I kind of like that one too. There's benefits to that.
So whether it's opening the cape and like a bunch of crows coming out, or coming out of the hands, some version of that, a bunch of crows coming out, each one doing a certain tick of damage. Yes. And it's just fun.
We can always do like I was just kind of I don't want to jack your idea here,
No,
but I was just
I'd love
thinking
to.
like one of the ability systems we have is like holding like the ability button down, so we could do like a channeled move too, and just if you can sort of actually a good comparison, if anybody watches Dragon Ball or has, you know, when they go like bananas and they're shooting like a bajillion of those little
Yeah,
like
like
bullets, and they're like, yeah, but they're like curving everywhere, and they have those like tails, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
That
talking
makes me
about?
think of like Panzer Dragoon with the like lasers that he shoots out and they have like a lightsaber tail to them.
Yeah, except these ones are always like in Dragon Ball always look cool because they kind of like curved, so it always
Mhm,
looked like they were just like angling on stuff and hitting down. But then I'm like, you could do something like that where he's got his hands out, and then you got a bunch of these like crows, like just shooting out at these arcs and like homing in towards the easiest target, I guess. I mean, that could be
Yes.
fun, although it would like lock you in place, I guess. But
high risk, high reward, hopefully.
yeah, and I guess it's not, you know, for all situations, right?
And hopefully the idea is that you could cancel it earlier if you're in a bad
Right.
position to be able to get out
Yeah,
of there.
just let go of the button and then, you know.
Or hold it down longer and
Yeah,
get more damage
right,
off. JC
right.
says Vegeta's favorite move.
Yeah, he's got that. I don't even know what it's called, and I don't even think it has a name. Just like goes. Pop, 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 pop.
I'm gonna invite Bird Nerd into the chat. She's probably one of the longest stream viewers on the channel. Like, was watching when it was like Lady Relyea and I playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe back in the day. So I'm gonna bring her in because she's a huge fan of the birds. And so in Bernard,
yeah.
I'm gonna bring your volume down just in case. How you doing, Bernard?
Good. How are you?
Doing real good. How what are you thinking? What are you thinking as far as abilities? What's up?
Well, as I said in chat, I am a supporter of anything bird related, so I like the murder of crows idea.
Great. That's the thing that I think I'm leaning forward like the most right now. Is there like, if it wasn't that, what's your idea? Like, what would you like to see?
I don't think I know enough to really like come up with ideas for this.
What? You're the bird master.
I know I've been trying to brainstorm like bird related things and think crows stuff, like corvid stuff, and like I think I'm just tired because the brain is not working tonight.
No, you're killing me. I was hoping,
sorry.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh yeah. So all of a sudden the camera's gonna change into a first-person view, and then you're gonna be a crow, and you're gonna like track the enemy yourself.
I mean, anything that could make you fly. Like I love flying in video games too. Like that'd be epic. But
All of a sudden
no,
you're
no
controlling the
movement.
bird.
So yeah.
Gotcha,
I don't
no
know.
worries. It's
I don't
good.
know.
It's good to hear your voice, and I'm excited to see you once we get to TwitchCon.
Oh, I am so excited for TwitchCon. I'm so hyped.
Same here. Same here. Well, I will definitely make sure to make time to meet up with you, and I'll talk to you again more real soon.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for dropping in, Bird Nerd. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Oh, and before I like just remove you, do you have any questions or anything like specifically you wanted to ask or say?
No,
Okay.
it's just cool talking to game devs.
No worries. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, how do I?
I can just.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Putting people on the spot isn't
Well,
working
I
out for
said if you want to join in, go into general chat, and I will bring you
Oh,
in.
yeah.
That wasn't
Okay.
on the spot.
I guess you would assume in that case they're ready with the goods.
That's right. Don't put that on. Don't put that evil on me.
All right. Okay. All right.
Let's see. Let me look at chat for a second. Interesting idea. Maybe like you could use a way to dodge moves. See, that's no. We're not. We can't do
Aw.
move stuff.
Wait. What's the question? What dodging what?
The movement is a monster attacks you. You could turn into a murder of crows and come behind the monster and attack.
Well, see, that's like a kind of movement thing where I'm like, if it's ground or something like that, that's theoretic.
As long as it doesn't let you
yeah.
get behind like a wall or
Right.
like a secret barrier or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's ways like that. Like I was already thinking, like if you really wanted to, I mean, if you played the Souls games, it's about like timing and parry systems, so you could have like an ability that's kind of like that, where if you time it correctly, it would
Okay.
fire something back at someone, or kind of like move you, like you said, behind them or whatever. But it would have to, there's always like ways to, when the rules are strict enough to keep this together. It's more just like if you kind of said, oh, midair, I want to press a button and like turn into a crow and then like burst through the guy. I'd be like, well, that's a lot of flexibility and movement that I don't think we could guarantee that it wouldn't sort of break the what would you call it, like the natural progression of the game or whatever. Like sometimes things might break it, but we can't make it that easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
People miss stuff. Like Hollow Knight's got all these shortcuts that I'm pretty sure weren't like intended to be there, but it's not like just like staring you in the face. You know what I mean?
For sure. Let's see. I'm gonna throw out a poll. New ability idea: attack, defense, utility, or healing. I don't know. You can take for this whatever you want to mean. This is super broad topics, and we will work on this idea together once we figure out whatever this means. So if you'd like to discuss attacks, defense, utility, or healing, utility could be something that's like, I've got a little bit more defense, or I don't know what else is utility. I attack a little bit faster. I guess that's an attack. I don't know. Well, I guess it's utility because it allows you to do something a little bit different. Or maybe it makes it so you move faster. That would be utility. But attack would be like how we were talking about attacking up, a murder of crows, the things on the ground, whatever else. So I kind of want to see what chat has to say for other ability ideas beyond attacking into the air and what's going on there. Let's see. It's job reference 2020. Let's see. Bayonetta. I'm trying to read through chat a little bit, but yeah. Leth, how have things been going on your end? I know that Alex is talking about doing 12-hour days and working real hard on the game and everything. I'm kind of curious, like how are things on your end as far as like being like the publisher, marketer, and like all that kind of stuff? Yeah, I don't know. How's work? How's your life? It doesn't even have to be work. How are things?
Really, this
Things
is
are
like
good.
the most roundabout way to ask about Silksong that I've ever seen, man.
I'm not asking. I'm not. I swear.
He's
Like,
sneaky, this guy.
it's like the most roundabout.
Are you busy? Is there a lot of like stuff you have to plan for?
Mostly just turning away other publishers trying to sink their claws into Crowsworn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just breaking hearts.
I mean, what else could the other publishers do at this point when you've already like raised a bunch of money, you've already got a fan base in place, you've already like, and speaking of which, maybe I should ask, people have been asking, what platforms is this going to be on? That's been a common question for tonight. I mean, whatever you can announce.
Well, I think we pretty much announced everything with the Kickstarter.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was kind of like a little vague because we didn't want to assume all the systems out now would be the same being pushed when the game was done necessarily, But it was kind of like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft's consoles and PC. But yeah, with the publishers, we've talked to. I mean, every time I do talk to a publisher who's kind of like, "Hey, we'd love to work with you," it is difficult I would say, for them to kind of sort of come to the table with something new to offer. Like we've got everything well in hand, and and especially with the Kickstarter, then funding isn't even an option for them to throw out that's normally a great tool for publishers to bring teams on, is the the allure of funding and getting your game, just having the funds to build out your game. But we did it because we went straight to the fans for our funding, and it's very freeing in a lot of ways. There's some stresses that come with that, but in the end, it pays off to be independent.
So when it comes to going to multiple platforms, I imagine if you already plan for it to be on multiple platforms, does that make it easier understanding that it's going to be like developed for multiple platforms? Or do you kind of design it for PC and then ask somebody else to redesign or fit it in to work on other platforms? Or how does that portion of it work?
Alex, you want to handle that?
And real quick,
Yeah.
CC, I see you in general. I'll bring you in just a second.
I mean, in my, I guess, somewhat limited experience, but still some experience with porting to stuff, I would say it's usually something you address at the end, just because the firmware on these like platforms is changing all the time anyways, and like a lot of porting tools, like if you're working in an engine like Unity, there are ways to kind of like, I don't want to say you just push a button to port it to it, because it's not really that simple, but it's kind of like that, and then you just sort of have to like address code or shaders or whatever it is that might not be working on that particular platform, or figure out optimization issues or whatever it is. But the thing is, like, all these things are changing like all the time, like every month or so it doesn't really make sense to plan for it ahead of time. You just kind of know that you can and will do it when the time comes.
Raj.
And then obviously you can just like hire a team to port as well if you really want to, or if it's easy you can do it yourself. But there's just multiple ways to tackle it, and it really just, I think it's a project to project basis. Like, it really depends how complex or not complex it is, I guess.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I just wasn't sure like how much like you can expect to plan for that ahead of time. So yeah.
Well, you would probably sort of target to, I think PC indie developers primarily develop with PC in mind.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to consoles, you probably target for testing, like earlier testing or alpha stuff, the ones that you feel like has the least power,
Switch is
RAM or whatever.
The bottleneck,
then,
for sure. Yeah.
Right, and then if you can
That
run
makes
on that
sense.
one, then the others will probably be no
They'll
issue
probably
other
be
than
no problem.
shader stuff like Alex
Right.
mentioned.
So
I mean, that makes complete sense. Like if you know that that's what you're targeting, you just target for the lowest common denominator, but probably you make it so the bottom tier can make it for Switch, but then at the same time also making it so you can also level up for PC or other consoles. So in that way, there's different settings for that, right?
Yeah, and a lot of time you just kind of like, what happens with Switch is you just kind of have a version of the game that's kind of looks a bit worse than on other platforms, just because you might like make the textures smaller so they're not as high quality or something, and that's just because you can only handle like texture packs that are so big, or whatever the case may be. But then since Switch is like handheld and small, most people don't like really care anyways. Like, I don't think that many people play Switch on
on the TV,
like on
the
TV docked. Yeah, I think you do a bit, but most people use it for handheld, right?
I think if most people played on the dock, they wouldn't have released the Switch Lite,
Right.
like
True.
non-dockable one.
Yeah, and I think the docked when it's docked, it has a little bit more power, anyways, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
because
it upscales.
Yeah. So.
Good stuff. I'm gonna bring in CC Mackey, awesome streamer, YouTuber extraordinaire. Actually YouTuber. I don't think know much on the streamer side. Actually, to be honest, I'm sorry. But CC, you are muted right now. But how are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. I probably had you waiting for too long, and now you're not. Oh, there you are.
Hold on. Hello. 1 moment.
Hey.
Sorry, I got you way too loud. Let me bring you down a little bit. There we go. Let's try that.
All right. I am not on my main my main computer right now, so I might sound a little off on the quality. But hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Whoa.
We'll meet again.
We'll meet again.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing me in. I heard that you said that you were bringing people in, so I was like, hey, hi. I'll come
Yeah.
in. All right. So you haven't decided on an ability yet, have you?
No, like I feel like I said earlier, I'm very partial to abilities that are going to do something attack in the air that will help eliminate enemies that are trying to stay just outside of your attack area, like a primal aspid. That was the most annoying enemy in Hollow Knight, and once you got an Abyss Shriek or something like that, that was very helpful. I would like to develop an ability that will help you with attacks or enemies that are like that, right? And that's kind of what I was aiming for, and hence the Murder of Crows that deal the slight tracking and do kind of like a tick of damage each towards an enemy. I like that idea, but I'm not 100% sold. I'm open to different ideas, and I'd love to hear what you have to say.
I have an idea. I came up with it like kind of on the spot when you sent out the announcement. Basically, basically, it's pretty modest, but what it would be is, you know how you can throw your scythe and it like spins at an enemy, boom, boom, you shoot it with your guns and whatever. Well, how about an alternate of that? So instead of shooting, well, I guess you could shoot it with your gun, but at some point you click a specified button that you get with this ability, and when you click the button, you kind of like hook onto your scythe, and instead of the scythe coming back to you, you get launched at the scythe. And then when you come in contact with the scythe, you grab a hold of it, and then you do like a big heavy attack. So it has like one of two things. It like is able to launch you across the map towards an enemy, and then if you time it right and you don't end up, running into an enemy by launching yourself at your scythe, and you end up, timing it right, you're able to pull this heavy attack off, which deals good damage to the enemy. So if you have the right positioning and the right timing, this could be like a really cool and effective ability. But that's just me.
The only downside to that is that we are limited by the fact that we're not allowed to do we're not allowed to change movement that could potentially break the game.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about that one. If you tossed it at like an enemy or something in the air and did that, that's like an extra dash or something. Which should,
like, let's say that went over spikes or something that made it so you couldn't reach a certain area, then
What if it's activated? What if it's activated from a dash? Like you have to use your dash to do the ability.
It only goes as far as a dash normally would.
Well, maybe
like that?
maybe it'd extend the dash like a tiny bit. I don't know how much, but it doesn't have to. You can just have it be the dash instantly goes into a heavy attack once you make contact with the scythe.
I mean, I guess for me the only issue with that is that it's we kind of have like, I guess, a design principle that the Corvian, thus far anyways, the Corvian abilities aren't like chained from other abilities. You just kind of tie them to the one button, like they're
the one button.
Yeah, they're like the magic ones. So it shouldn't have like a precondition that you have to do something in order to do it, because it would take one of the slots, I guess, because you can swap them out. So then that would mean that like the slot when you're pressing it and not dashing would be empty.
This is new.
What's new?
Corvian abilities taking up slots?
Yeah, I guess. Damn it.
Did you just break an NDA?
I didn't break it.
My work here is done, everyone. Yes.
And
Crowsworn
let's see,
news.
where's my button that lets me like clip stuff?
Get out of here, man. What'd you have to come in here for?
When the owner breaks their own NDA. I don't know if that counts.
Don't worry, guys. Everyone, just forget about it.
As long as I don't get
happen.
sued, I don't like.
No, we're all gonna everyone in the chat, we're all just gonna mutually agree to not say anything. It's like the Hannah Montana movie where she revealed she was Hannah Montana, and all of whatever country or state she was performing in decided, hey, we're not going to tell the world you're Hannah Montana. It's the same thing, except, you know. So it's all good. No one's going to say anything. No one's going to say anything.
Hannah Montana.
Yeah, it's a good analogy. I know.
How would I know about Hannah Montana?
Say again?
How would I know about Hannah Montana?
Yeah, how
Well,
does anyone know
it's
about
a
Hannah
Disney
Montana?
show. Your kids will grow up and love it.
I'm surprised you don't know about Hannah Montana.
Well, I know what it is. I mean, wasn't that like a Miley Cyrus thing or something?
Yes. I like how for a second I forgot that was Miley Cyrus. Okay. Don't worry. Everyone in the chat.
Everyone
understood
says
my
this
analogy.
never leaves the stream.
Yeah, never
See,
does.
You know what? There's only 89 people watching. It's fine. It's not like it's gonna leak out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
All right. Well.
Go, bro! I got my eyes on you. You better not.
That's
be posting a video about
that's not a major leak. That's not a major leak. You only get potentially one Corvian ability at a time.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal, I think, but yeah.
Potentially.
But it's I guess it's news. Yeah, you can kind of you can slot them out. That's why you can have multiple ones for different things.
Maybe
So
maybe they're connected to the hand things that we've seen. I don't know. You didn't tell me that.
The hand things? What hand things?
The hand things. You know.
What? What's happening?
The little things that are right on the screen, right?
Your hands?
Where'd they go? Where'd they go? It literally just showed up in the right there. Valdo's Reavers, the foul remnants of the blood.
I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Okay. I mean, I'm speculating right now based on the weight system and the hand things. Like maybe that has something to do with the Corvian abilities. I'm speculating. I'm not asking you to answer anything. And look at these. You get the slot out stuff. Anyways, that's what I'm saying. I'm not asking you to say anything.
True.
So, anyways, hey chat, how you doing? What's up? Throwing knives sounds super cool. I love that we're talking about Hannah Montana, right? Or screen record. No, you can't screen record anything. That's illegal because this is my stream and
Oh, I just had another funny idea.
Yeah, what you got?
Okay. So you know monkey bombs from Call of Duty Zombies?
No.
Like, wait, none of you know monkey bombs?
Wait, is it like the monkey that does like the
symbols,
symbols and it attracts enemies? Okay.
Yeah. So it wouldn't attract enemies, but it kind of has that vibe where it's like you throw out a little cute crow and it's like walking in a certain direction, like that you throw it, and
it's
then
like
if an enemy
and it has like a little like wind up thing behind it.
And then when it'll either walk into an enemy or an enemy will bump into it, and when it does, boom, explodes. Maybe explodes into more crows.
Ooh.
And those explode into more crows and then more crows.
Yeah, and then your screen gets filled up with them, and then it's a race for the clock, speedrunners. That's gonna be a good challenge. Who will win? The symbol crow, or what would be the opposite? Your GPU, your CPU falling off?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
All right. Well, all my $1 million ideas have been presented. Use them wisely as you can. So yes,
Cece,
honestly,
I appreciate you breaking the news, and I'm looking forward to your video.
My video. I need to make a Crowsworn video. You're right. I do need to make one. I've not made one. I look at the Crowsworn Discord and I don't see my name in the Crowsworn YouTubers section. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
That's rude. I don't even
what
know
am
if
I
I
doing?
hope it is.
No, yours is in there. It's got to be in there. But mine's not, because I haven't made a Crowsworn video, and I don't know what I'm doing in my life, because this game is so good. Dude,
if only there was some breaking news you could cover.
I know. But,
I'm sure there's
seriously,
something you could cover faster than me.
Great work on Crowsworn. Amazing work. This is going to be an incredible project, and I love Unworthy. It's my second favorite game behind Hollow Knight, and
That's pretty good.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
see. I can't wait to see. I want to make a video on Unworthy. Like I've been thinking about it for a while, and maybe
that'd be great.
maybe after Silk Song, I'll consider it. Because at some point I'm gonna have to make. Sorry, I won't take the spotlight. I won't take the spotlight. You guys keep on going. You guys keep on going. I'll head out. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day and keep the good work.
Thanks, man. That was a lot of positivity.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Bye,
See ya,
CC.
dude.
Have a great
Thanks
day.
again, man.
Have a great night.
See ya.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Oh man.
CC's awesome.
Yeah.
And
We've
Squid Shock
raced him,
Studios
haven't we,
just
Matt?
got here too. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you.
Wait, Matt, we've raced him, right? Matt?
Yes, we did. A
Yeah,
few
okay,
times, I think.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
A couple times.
True.
Yeah, he was in the anniversary stream, and then I'm pretty sure
Was
I
he?
invited him to.
Wait, no, it wasn't the anniversary. It was Fireborn, Mossbag, Pogo,
Oh wait,
and
Pogo
Rusty.
and
Yeah.
Rusty.
Yeah, it was them.
Oh,
four.
okay. CC was in the previous ones.
I
then?
think so. Yeah.
Definitely raced him because
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I remember his taunting. You know. All that.
We need to get like emotes or something for for Crow Kart. Just to like when you're ahead, so you can push little buttons to troll the other guys.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Oh man.
Are you guys still working on Crow Card?
Working on it.
I mean, like
like-
not like actively, but
passively.
for funsy, passively. Like you're like
Yeah.
you come up with an idea, you're like, oh, I'll just like throw that in there.
Yeah, I think Crow Card. I mean, like Duarte. That's kind of more. I would say at this point become like his pet project. I sort of chime in on stuff here or there and help out with things when it happens. But it's kind of interesting. I think like that's a bit of a. It's opened my eyes to another world of game development that doesn't have to be as stressful. Because I think there's projects that people can develop that are a lot less stressful than I guess like working on Crowsworn. I guess maybe stressful isn't the
I
right
don't
word.
know when you guys were first putting that crow cart together, that last 24 hours
That was crazy though.
was that last 24 hours was crazy with the amount of iteration and development that happened.
It's kind of nuts that it all.
Yeah, it was nuts.
How do you guys make sure when you have multiple people developing and touching the same files at the same time that you're not like breaking each other?
Oh, it's just I'm mainly like use like a repository, so I guess we're using like source. Well, source tree is the interface, I guess, but it's on Git. So you just kind of push changes, and you basically don't like work on the same kind of crap at the same time, if that makes sense. Like if you're working on a level or something, like if I'm doing some changes, then nobody else is touching that stuff, and then I'll like push it, and then they pull. Well, it sounds like I'm playing Bop It, but yeah, you kind of like
More
that's
board
what-
game stuff.
Yeah, you like push it and pull it. I guess.
Yeah, it pushes it to a server, and then everyone else pulls the update down, so it updates their local version on their computer.
Got it. Okay. I was asking because as an accountant, that kind of also is important as well. But it's like we'll check out an entire Excel file, and like nobody else can touch that Excel file until the person who checked it out checks it back in. So kind of similar, but instead of breaking it down
Yeah,
to
in a way,
like this level, it's like, this entire document, this entire file.
Right.
So same,
Well-
but different, but
Well, it'd be like if you had a spreadsheet with different pages, and you could check out a page.
yeah,
Yeah.
Then one other person could, or a tab,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if they're called tabs or pages.
same.
But one person check out one tab, another check out another tab, and then you check it
Yeah.
back in.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I guess it's fundamentally exactly the same, because at the end of the day, like you're kind of moving stuff around in Unity or whatever, so it's all like visual. But at the end of the day, those changes are all just like documented in a text file that the computer then parses. So, like, if I move, I don't know, some object in a level, visually it looks like that, but when I make the push, all it is like in a text document, it'll be like, oh, X parentheses equals whatever, and that's the change that's been made. So just the documents are kind of grouped to, like, levels are one sort of dividing branch, I guess, if that makes sense, or scenes in Unity, whatever. Whatever, man.
I mean,
It's all good.
I'm gonna say yeah, it totally makes sense from somebody who has no idea about Unity or what the heck you're talking about. But I mean, generally speaking, yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to. I love kind of picking up on things from like other industries or other whatever, and trying to like fit that into my accounting job. So chat, if you don't know, I have since went from a full-time YouTuber in the last year that I was doing full-time YouTuber stuff to now being a full-time, going back to full-time accounting. And don't get me wrong, accounting's great, and it pays the bills. So yeah, but whenever I can, I love getting ideas, like even like using things like the Stream Deck, which allows for making money rain and thinking emojis and whatever else, face pog. Like, whoa, how did that just happen? Like, seriously, all those little things that come from the streamer world, and taking those things of using a Stream Deck to use macros to make accounting better, faster, easier. I love meshing these different ideas from different industries. It's actually like really interesting, really cool. Granted, I actually now work at a very, very big accounting firm that I have to submit tickets and get things like approved by like 10 different people before anything works. That's fine, but it is kind of fun, like presenting ideas that they never would have thought of on their own. Like it's just kind of interesting. So anyway,
I don't know if the accounting analogies are going to help many people understand what we're talking about, though. I think more people know calculus than accounting these days.
You know what? And that's actually really cool for me, because it means I can make more money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot less people in general just going into the accounting field, and like, great, stay out, because the less people are coming, less competition. It's not that hard. Yeah. It's really not. It's just like debits and credits. Like, oh, it's so confusing. It's really not. Like, it's a really easy profession. Keep your hands clean. You don't need to get a master's degree for it. Heck, you potentially don't even need to get a bachelor's degree if you really don't want to get a CPA license. Granted, you'll go a lot further with a CPA license, but yeah. You can make a good living with accounting if you like business enough to figure out, like, how do systems work together and what is the right way to present information and like get things to work together. It's not as math intensive as people assume or think it's going to be. Anyway.
Hey, Schwum's heading out, but he said something about or he or she, I don't know which, but that there's an idea about having glasses. Maybe one of the crows is wearing sunglasses. Is that what's going on?
I think that's what's going on.
You have to sneak that in there.
I mean,
you know, like a
selfishly
thing.
I would love a Relyea Easter egg, but I could never ask for that outright. You know, that would be
a
rude.
Mustache. Yeah, mustache on one of the characters.
I saw, yeah. Whenever I see a mustache, I'm like, is that me? Could that be a shout out to me? And obviously, maybe. So I don't know. Let's see, what am I missing here in chat? Giving free educational advice. Hey, you know what? I did my best. What's been going on here? You know, we've come up with one Corvian ability. People want to see. We had like almost 50% of people who want to see a Corvian attack, other than the aerial attack that we had talked about. I think it's about time we start talking in chat about what else do you want to see.
But you were talking about you wanted something to combat those pesky flying enemies. What if the ability only attacked flying enemies, or enemies that were airborne, like you knocked them into the air, or they're...
Well, that sounds kind of pooper duper if there's no air enemies now.
Yeah, are there no air? There's air enemies. Oh, you
No,
mean just like
but
in the
it's
area?
in
you
room,
wouldn't be able
like
to use it.
you walk in and it's
Ah,
like,
yeah.
I gotta go in the menu to swap this thing out just to. I
Oh,
learned my
yeah,
lesson.
yeah.
See,
from
that's why I
Worthy
like
Man.
the tracker crows, the murder of crows they can go up, they can go sideways. They don't necessarily have to go like perpendicular up, but they like kind of come out and they up and they can fly, right?
Okay, they could prioritize air enemies, but if there are none, fly down on the guy on the ground. or something
Yeah,
like
why
that.
not? I like the idea of it being crows because, you know, crows. Ah,
Makes sense. Makes sense.
makes sense.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's true, Alex. You don't want to. You don't want to walk in a room and be like, oh yeah, there's no flying enemies in this whole area.
Yeah.
Swap
You're,
out.
you're like pushing right. 'cause
Yeah.
it's like, hold on, guys. Let me swap.
Yep. Yeah. there goes the speed run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops, forgot to switch out my ability.
A clock related attack maybe, or a knife attack. So some people said like, what if it slows down time so we can attack enemies? I don't know. Definitely is a Relyea Easter egg or character. I didn't pay for that. Let's see, a big mouth that pulls enemies trying to eat them. What are you talking about, Kirby? Bring in like a Kirby ability? A small sentry gun type then? Throw down a gadget prop? And it pops up a small sentry gun. What if it just shoots crows? Some sort of gun you throw on the ground. It's just like... Caw, 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 caw.
And it has that noise. You're gonna
Yeah.
record that for us?
Yeah, no, I got you. I got this on a separate track, so it's already recorded.
Nice. Well, you could do. I was just thinking, if you're throwing stuff, I mean, you could come up with something where it's like kind of toss like mines or whatever it is, like floating in the air kind of thingy or whatever, and then when enemies run into them, kind of like trap style. I guess that's
Trap.
a possibility if you want to, but I don't know. I'm just throwing out like ideas, whatever you want to do. So
I feel like I'm still open. Like my main idea is the murder of crows, but it sounded like you want me to come up with a couple ideas. Is that right?
no, I mean, I'm just trying to keep the stream alive, man. I mean,
Fair
I don't. If you want to settle with that one, then we could call it a day and wrap this up. But
Machine gun type attack that shoots a bunch of bullets.
It's pretty good.
quickly, but the bullets don't do a ton of damage. Why can't the bullets do a ton of damage? Why can't we have the most OP ability in the game?
good, I guess.
Could.
Not.
Maybe we just get it
Could.
late game, or maybe it's really expensive. It's very heavy, if you will.
Yeah, maybe it costs.
Each crow says "caw" until the final one that says "combo."
Combo breaker. That was oh man, what game was
I
that?
hope that came through because my internet's going to shit right now.
I think that's Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Thank you. So good. And Leth, don't you curse on this stream, or I'm gonna kick you out.
Maybe he is out already. Maybe his internet went.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, he's okay.
You're fine. A knife with poison, maybe. Yeah, little tick damage action. I'm not gonna lie. Typically, I'm a huge fan of poison damage, just because you can smack an enemy, get your poison damage on, and then if you need to play defensively for a little while, it's still dealing damage over time, and you don't have to worry about it. You can play defensively, it's still dealing damage. You can chill out for a little bit, and then kind of get back in there whenever you're available, whenever you're ready for it. Normally, yeah, I'm a fan of poison damage. Corvian, a Corvian poison, if you will. DOT damage is great for positioning after and defensive play. Exactly. Poison bullets. Ooh. Poke poison through your beak attack. What's up?
What if those crows you were talking about earlier, they kind of just flew around an enemy doing sort of, damage over
Maybe
time?
like a little
each time they-
swarm kind of thing.
So it's like poison, yeah, like a swarm on the.
It's a swarm,
they,
but
like,
then they like dive bomb.
They dive in them and then fly through them, and it hurts them, and then they fly.
And as
come
they
back,
dive bomb,
like-
they kind of end themselves, if you will, dealing the damage, which is kind of sounds
that's
nice
true. If it was,
in
like,
that.
consecutive.
Yeah, it kind of sounds nice. So in that way, there's none that are missing, because they'll or there's probably less that are missing because it takes longer for them to run into an enemy. As opposed to if they're all flying out and instantly, I don't know, like being like crow. If they run into it, it instantly damages, as opposed to flocking and following an enemy and slowly damaging over time. They probably have a wider area of honing in or tracking, if you will.
We have something like that kind of in Crow Card already, don't we? Where it's like the thorns that appear above that you touch someone with, and then they boop, 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 like hit them consecutively. But it's fast though.
True. Let's see. Kami Crow abilities? Kamikazes? Yeah, Kamikazes.
Oh.
Kamikazes.
Oh.
The ability to pet crows out of combat.
Exactly. Oh, see, that's and it uses up all of your ability. It's just like it lets you pet the crow.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel better about yourself. Still pushing the Shadouken idea. Help flex possible issues. If it doesn't launch you into the air, it keeps you stationary, grounded, or aerial. Even if it kept you in place aerial, I feel like that should be fine, potentially.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't as long as there's not like some ability that recharges while you're doing that gives you it doesn't like reset your dash or reset a double jump or reset something else, it should be fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Normally you'd have to like pogo or something to reset the movement abilities. Like you wouldn't do it with a Corvian ability.
No.
So, I kind of want to zoom out a little bit. And Alex, I want to ask you. So, I can't remember if we've already kind of touched on this earlier. As you're going through development, how much of what you're doing is like going forward and developing as much as you can gameplay wise versus like having to develop a little bit and then make sure there's no bugs, and then develop what you can a little bit and then make sure there's no bugs? Is it kind of like a yin and yang, like adding stuff and making sure it works, or do you go like almost like a sprint of making new things and then making sure that it didn't break something else?
That's hard to say. I think I'm kind of particular with these kinds of things, because for me is like I'm I don't want to sound, I say cliche be the right word. I'm like pretty, I guess, obsessive and meticulous and like precise about all the kind of like movement and things. Like I'm very particular with that. So when I go through it, like I kind of go tooth and comb. So most of the time it's like those movement bugs kind of get caught, I guess. I think most of them do.
Yeah, like kind of as you're going, you kind of catch them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you played the demo, I guess. I don't know, how many bugs did you see even or feel in terms of like
nothing, like
controls and stuff,
felt
right? Like
really good. Like, and I played it more than a handful of times. Like I've played through it. Like even just dying over and over again, it always felt like my fault. You know what I mean? Like I felt like, okay, I didn't notice this tell. The tell was there. I had enough time to read the tell, even if I didn't know what the tell was when I first started or whatever else. Like it was fair, if that makes sense. And also like the movement, like it didn't feel sloppy or slippery. Like it didn't feel like I couldn't like turn around if I felt like I made a mistake or whatever else. Like it felt like I could have, I had options. I could have done something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clarkatron found the most the most bugs, I think.
Yeah,
It's like if you hold the F1 key and turn off your laptop, it's back on. Wait a while. He was doing all kinds of
Oh, I see.
obscure things.
There's stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know about those.
Yeah.
But I meant more like you go in
If
and
you
like,
exit the game while being hit and then restart, and then you guys stuck in being hit phase, and it's just little things like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Super obscure.
Yeah, so I don't know about those ones, but I guess those ones will work out eventually anyways.
Yeah.
Those ones anyways, when you launch on Steam, people will find them and they'll comment on it. I don't think people hate on you too hard for those because you can patch them quickly. People kind of crap on you if you like soft lock or the game doesn't work or your controls are read or something, which I would argue is completely warranted. So, yeah.
I feel like now's a good time to show off the demo while we're talking about the gameplay and whatever else, right?
I imagine developers have their own style when it comes to.
Yeah.
Like I tend to I'll when I'm working on something, if I'm coding, I'll code a bunch on, you know, get through a whole new feature, you know, like kind of, Alex talks about that too. But then if I find bugs, I'll just like write them down and get a big list of bugs, and then I'll spend a day fixing bugs that day instead of just as I go, you know, smoothing it out. Like so it's just like a different I don't know, rhythm, I guess, but you still
That
have
makes
to do
sense.
it.
Rhythm.
It's yeah.
Like whether or not you have like the bug fixing day versus like.
Yeah, for me, I need to do that. I can't if I get distracted with bugs, it takes me out of sort of my creation brain. I have to be in either fix brain or create brain. Like I can't just swap back and forth. That's just me. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna be on fixing bugs, and that's just like you turn on your logic center more than the creative center.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know. I imagine yes, 100 devs will probably all kind of vary a little bit.
Yeah.
Dev to
I mean,
dev.
yeah, and I mean, even if developers, anything else, I mean, different developers have different like, strengths.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Good at or whatever.
Chat, I'm curious, how many of you have not seen the demo gameplay of what we're looking at right here? Because honestly, like, this has been so much fun to play through and just to like mess with. And like I said, it does feel super snappy, and like a lot of it is just getting used to the controls of something that like this is not where you'd be in the beginning of the gameplay. And you wouldn't die normally, like right there, like that's not something that normally happen. Played the demo. What'd you think of it? Anybody who played the demo, what's your feedback? What'd you think of it? You got a chance to like talk to the developers right now.
Yeah, if they played the demo, that should mean they were a backer.
They're a
So
backer.
thank you for your support.
Is it super late?
Oh yeah, he's an hour
dude,
ahead of me.
I forget.
Yeah, I stay up, okay, but it's fine. It's just like, I mean, I'm fine with it, but you can probably tell I'm like fading a bit.
Yeah, no worries. You're good. Oh, I just want to beat the boss. I'm like Asmongold right now. I can do it. I swear I can.
Oh,
Wait,
man,
how much
that
time
was,
passed?
Yeah, that was.
I honestly,
That was brutal.
sometimes I forget that I need to reload.
Pakatron really loved it. Loved
Demo's
the demo.
amazing.
Took me a little while to get the exact timing on the jumps down. Let's see, who else said
Hope the game is hard.
it was difficult, but super satisfying. That's great.
Yeah, the screen shake we're gonna have sliders for anyways. But it's
Oh
something
yeah.
people definitely have. And that's one of the things that I definitely, not the majority, like I kind of like my screen shake
Yeah, me too.
more than most. So I've just accepted that that's one of those things you gotta
Gotta get the people. Yeah, it looks like it's definitely a preference.
User error on this point. I've had a couple of adult beverages, so
Oh, what was that? What adult
What?
beverages?
I don't know what you're talking about. What's an adult beverage?
Oh, I don't know. I was having one too. That's why I was a little bit late getting in. Orange something.
I've got one more heal.
What's
Almost
that?
there. You're almost there. Cha-cha-cha-cha. Last hit. Come on. You're there. Done. Done. No. Oh, there's another jump. I wasn't ready. Okay. Right here. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Cha-cha-cha-cha. And you're done. You're done. You're done. Oh, you guys gonna get it.
Was that the victory? Oh, it got cut off on my end. I didn't get
What?
to hear the exclamation. No,
Oh.
I just mean not the video, but just
Oh.
I'm hearing your voice early. You know.
Garage. Well, I got it. That's all that matters.
Awesome. Congrats.
I remember the first time I did it, I didn't realize that the left trigger was the heal button, and I had to figure out all of this without healing. I'm like, oh yeah, it's way easier when you know how to heal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember Colin. I read through that. It was an essay. It was 2 essays. There was one essay that was like, "Here's my essay," and well, no, there was only one essay, and then there was a message. I hope you read my essay.
I think I did read it. I think I did it. Maybe.
Oh, Colin in chat wrote us an essay.
Yeah, on Kickstarter, his message board. About it legitimately was an essay though. I don't think I've done essays for academia before and written shorter stuff than that.
What grade did you give the essay? Did you grade it?
No, I didn't even know.
Oh.
Essays.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I read through it. It was just a lot. But it was, hey, he's excited. That's good.
Dude, what is the best way to configure the Switch Pro controller for the demo? Honestly, I feel like the buttons are set up just fine. I don't have any feedback for how to set up the buttons. It's more of just getting used to needing to reload and the healing button being different from Hollow Knight, just because I'm so like Hollow Knight brained for a lot of things. Like it just takes time to change things. So.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing I changed. Was I swapped the dodge and heal button.
Oh,
so
that makes sense.
The left trigger and the B. Yeah. I don't think I changed anything else. I think I just swapped those, and I was like, okay, that's better.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here because we had a good night. I don't want to keep Alex any longer because it is getting late on his end, and I can understand how precious sleep is. So I thank you. I think we came up with a good ability, and yeah, I'm just excited. We broke maybe some news. I don't know. Maybe if you heard it earlier or somewhere else. I don't know.
So just to close off, what was the ability that you wanted to go with?
The swarm, the murder
of crows swarm, and you want me to just like take that to interpretation to a degree?
A murder of crows that comes out of the cape that will track enemies. It within some cone of like a logic of this general direction, whatever direction you're facing. So. Maybe not perfectly straight up, but angled, and each crow dealing some sort of tick damage.
They're like the poison damage on the tick thing. So they're like they're
like
swarm of bees on the guy.
So each crow that hits deals damage, as opposed to like so it's potential that a couple of crows miss.
You want them to miss? Okay.
It's a murder of crows. They're just a bunch of them kind of going out and like. So like maybe some of them miss. I don't know. And like I said, I'm not picky.
All right, we'll figure this out.
I'm not picky.
That's something to go with.
If whatever you develop, I'm happy.
You'll just
all right, this is easy money.
Crows, that's mine. That's mine right there.
Easiest money on my life. No kidding.
I'm not a perfectionist.
That's actually, you know what, that I would say in general, the more you you say, hey, this is the general idea I have, and you guys run with it how you think works best. I think that ends up working. It's becoming a better ability if the developer gets
See?
more massage it more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wha-
I would
whatever you
agree,
think.
just because, yeah, it's always good when the people designing are flexible. It
I
helps.
want each
Yeah,
crow
exactly.
to deal infinite damage.
Yeah. Oh wait, what? That's different.
They are super crows. They've been eating their cornflakes and bacon every day, and milk.
Oh wait, so you want to collect? You want the character to collect cornflakes,
And
it powers
they-
up the crows.
They all have mustaches and glasses,
Oh boy. Okay. Well, this is a little bit less flexible.
and they all need to say Relyea above their head. I want them to.
It's changed dramatically at the end. It was a bait and switch all along.
Oh man.
He got us to agree, and then just
Yep.
hit us with all the
all the
hard
all the
line and-
extras. See, I told you.
Yeah.
Yep. But however you want, as long as you can pick the font.
Oh man.
All right. Hey, chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope that you enjoyed. It was such a good night. It was a good live stream. I do plan to live stream every Wednesday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. I want to keep this up. It's good. It is different getting used to doing a full-time job and doing content creation on the side again, but I do miss you. And I'll talk again more real soon. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Bye.